You will now get some time to read the next questions.
Good morning, Indonesian Embassy, London. How may I assist you today?
Good morning. I'd like some information regarding a tourist visa to Indonesia, please.
Certainly. Are you planning to travel alone, or is this for a group?
It's just for myself. I'm planning a trip next month and wanted to understand the visa process.
No problem at all. May I first ask what your nationality is?
I'm a British citizen.
Perfect. British passport holders do require a tourist visa for stays longer than 30 days. For visits under 30 days, you may be eligible for a visa exemption or visa on arrival, depending on the entry point.
I see. I'm planning to stay for about 5 weeks, so that would be 35 days in total.
In that case, you'll need to apply for a single-entry tourist visa before traveling. It allows a stay of up to 60 days.
And how do I apply for that?
You can apply online through the official eVisa portal, or you may submit your application in person here at the embassy. You'll need a valid passport, a recent passport-sized photograph, a return flight ticket, and proof of sufficient funds.
Could you please clarify the proof of sufficient funds part?
Yes, certainly. A recent bank statement showing a minimum balance of £1,500 should be sufficient. Alternatively, you can provide a payslip or a sponsor letter if someone is funding your trip.
Now get some time to check your answers.
You will now get some time to read the next questions.
Got it. Is there a fee involved?
Yes, the tourist visa fee is £45. It's non-refundable, and payment is usually made online or in cash at the time of application, depending on how you choose to apply.
And how long does it take to process?
For online applications, it typically takes 3 to 5 working days. If you apply in person, we recommend booking an appointment, and you may be able to collect your visa within 2 working days, subject to approval.
I see. And what about travel insurance? Is that mandatory?
Yes, it is. You'll need to show proof of travel insurance that covers COVID-19 treatment and at least £25,000 in medical expenses.
All right. Are there any other documents I should be aware of?
Yes, we also ask for a detailed itinerary that includes your accommodation bookings and major travel plans inside Indonesia. It doesn't have to be exact day by day, but we like to see a general plan.
Fair enough. Is there any interview required?
Not usually for tourist visas. However, we may contact you for clarification if any document is missing or unclear. In rare cases, an interview may be scheduled.
Understood. I've heard some people were asked for a yellow fever vaccination certificate. Is that something I'll need?
Only if you're arriving from or transiting through a country with a yellow fever risk. If you're flying directly from the UK or Europe, it's not necessary.
That's a relief. And what about COVID requirements? Any quarantine?
Currently, travelers must present a negative PCR test taken within 48 hours before departure. There's no mandatory quarantine unless you're showing symptoms upon arrival, but rules can change, so do check closer to your departure date.
I certainly will. Last thing, can I extend the tourist visa if I decide to stay longer?
Yes, extensions are possible. You can apply for a 30-day extension at any immigration office in Indonesia, but you must apply before your visa expires. Note that only one extension is permitted for the tourist visa.
That's good to know. Is there a number or email I can reach if I have further questions?
Of course. You can email us at consular@indonesiaembassy.org.uk or call 020-7499-7661 during working hours, Monday to Friday, 9 a.m. to 4 p.m.
Perfect! Thank you so much for all the information. You've been very helpful.
It's my pleasure. Best of luck with your travel plans and enjoy your trip to Indonesia.
Thanks. Have a great day.
You too.
You will now get
Goodbye.
some time to check your answers.
You will now get some time to read the next questions.
Hello and welcome everyone. I'm delighted you could join me today. I'll be giving you a brief overview of our upcoming cultural tour to Indonesia, which we've carefully planned for the coming summer. If you're someone who enjoys breathtaking landscapes, rich traditions, and a bit of adventure, this trip will certainly be one to remember. Now, we'll be setting off from Heathrow Airport on the 14th of July. Our destination is Bali, one of the most popular islands in Indonesia. The flight is approximately 16 hours, including a brief stopover in Doha. Upon arrival, you'll be greeted by our local tour guide, Ayu, who's been working with our agency for over a decade. She's fluent in English and has a wealth of knowledge about the region. Our accommodation in Bali is the Lotus Garden Hotel, located just outside Ubud. This serene retreat is surrounded by rice paddies and tropical forests. It offers traditional Balinese architecture, a swimming pool, and complimentary yoga sessions every morning. It's a wonderful place to relax and adjust to the time zone difference before we begin our more active itinerary. During our first 3 days, we'll explore local temples, such as the Tirta Empul, known for its holy spring water, and the iconic Ulun Danu Baratan Temple, which sits gracefully on the edge of Lake Baratan. We'll also participate in a Balinese cooking class, where you'll learn how to make satay and gado-gado, two of the most beloved dishes in the region. On day 4, we'll travel east to Mount Batur, an active volcano. Those who are up for it can join the sunrise hike, which starts at about 4 a.m. Don't worry, it's moderately challenging and well worth the effort. From the summit, you'll witness a magnificent sunrise that paints the sky in hues of gold and crimson. After descending the volcano, we'll unwind with a dip in the nearby natural hot springs. For lunch, we'll stop at a local warung, or family-run cafe, which offers traditional meals and scenic views.
You will now get some time to check your answers.
You will now get some time to read the next questions.
Now, let me walk you through the second part of the tour. On the 7th day, we'll catch a short domestic flight to Yogyakarta, located on the island of Java. This city is often considered the cultural heart of Indonesia. We'll be staying at the Malioboro Heritage Hotel, which is just a stone's throw from the bustling Malioboro Street, perfect for evening strolls and souvenir shopping. Our time in Yogyakarta will focus on history and art. First, we'll visit the world-renowned Borobudur Temple, the largest Buddhist temple on Earth, and a UNESCO World Heritage Site. The site dates back to the 9th century and is a remarkable example of traditional Javanese architecture. We'll be given a guided tour there, followed by some time for individual exploration. Later that afternoon, we'll take part in a batik workshop. Batik is a traditional method of textile dyeing using wax-resistant techniques. You'll have the chance to create your own design and take it home as a keepsake. It's a brilliant way to engage with local crafts and express your creativity. On day 10, we'll head to Prambanan, another UNESCO site, featuring an impressive collection of Hindu temples. The highlight is the central Shiva temple, which stands over 40 meters tall. Our guide will explain the legends associated with the site, including the famous story of Roro Jonggrang. Our final 2 days will be spent on the island of Lombok. Unlike Bali, Lombok is quieter and more traditional. We'll stay in beachside huts and enjoy snorkeling excursions to the Gili Islands, which are known for their crystal-clear waters and abundant marine life. On the last evening, we'll host a farewell dinner on the beach, complete with grilled seafood, local music, and a short performance by a traditional Sasak dance troupe. It's a fitting way to end what promises to be a memorable journey. Just a few quick notes before I finish. Please ensure your passport is valid for at least 6 months from the date of departure. You'll also need to apply for a visa, which is available online for most nationalities. We recommend getting all necessary vaccinations, particularly for hepatitis A and typhoid, at least 4 weeks before travel. We'll be sending out a full itinerary, packing list, and emergency contacts by email later this week. If you have any dietary restrictions or special medical needs, please let our team know as soon as possible so we can make appropriate arrangements. That concludes my briefing on the Indonesian cultural tour. I hope you're as excited as we are. If you've got any questions, feel free to stay behind and ask, or send us an email at
You will now get some time to check your answers.
You will now get some time to read the next questions.
Right, everyone. Thanks for making the time to meet. We've only got a few weeks before our cultural exchange visit to Indonesia, so we should finalize the plans.
Absolutely. So, I suppose the first thing is to divide up responsibilities. We all agreed we'd each take a part of the itinerary, right?
Yeah, I'm happy to handle transportation. I've already looked into domestic flights and coach options between cities.
Brilliant, Tom. I'm focusing on accommodation. I've shortlisted some guest houses and eco-lodges that align with our budget.
Perfect. I'll deal with activities, cultural visits, museums, that sort of thing. James, you are on food and local customs.
Yep, already started compiling a list of dietary considerations and etiquette. For instance, in Java, it's considered rude to eat with your left hand.
Oh, that's good to know. We'll definitely need a little session on cultural do's and don'ts before we go. Speaking of which, shall we allocate time for an orientation workshop? Maybe we could invite last year's group to share their experiences. Great idea. That could help us avoid common pitfalls. So, timeline-wise, we depart on the 5th of next month, spend 3 nights in Yogyakarta, then 5 nights in Bali, right? Actually, I thought we were doing 4 nights in Bali.
I checked the latest itinerary from the organizers. It's 5. They added an extra day for the community project in Ubud.
That's the one where we help restore the rice terraces.
Yep, and we'll be staying with host families, so it'll be a great opportunity to practice Bahasa Indonesia.
Speaking of language, do we need to prep anything? I've only learned basic greetings.
I've downloaded an app for phrases and pronunciation. We could all do a 10-minute daily challenge.
That's manageable.
And I'll print some quick reference cards in case Wi-Fi is patchy.
Good thinking. Also, I've read that some rural areas prefer modest clothing, so let's remember to pack accordingly.
Absolutely. I'll include a packing checklist in our shared folder. Anything else for part 1?
Just the insurance. We all need to check with the university about travel coverage. I heard someone had issues last year with their claim.
I'll follow that up with student services. Okay, shall we move on to
Now
budgeting
get some
next?
time to check your answers.
You will now get some time to read the next questions.
So, on to budget. We've got the grant from the university, but we still need to track personal spending. How shall we do that?
I suggest we use a shared spreadsheet. We can log our expenses daily, then split costs at the end of each city. It would give us a clear picture of where our money is going, especially with currency conversion being so tricky.
Sounds fair, but what about group meals? It'll be tricky to calculate precisely if we eat at warungs, the little local food stalls. Sometimes one person orders for everyone, and figuring out who paid what could get complicated.
Maybe we pool a daily meal allowance. We each put in a set amount and use that kitty for shared meals? That way we don't have to worry about splitting bills when we're out together. That could work. Let's trial it for the first few days and adjust if needed. Now, I wanted to ask about free time. Should we schedule some? Or will that happen naturally? I'm concerned we'll try to pack too much in.
I think it's best to schedule at least one free afternoon in each location. Otherwise, we'll be completely wiped out. Cultural immersion is great, but burnout is real.
Agreed. It'll also give us time to explore on our own. Oh, and don't forget souvenirs. I know some people want to bring gifts for their host families.
I've got a few ideas. Tea from England, local handicraft small things that are easy to pack. Maybe we can allocate some of our budget specifically for this.
Lovely. I'll add host gifts to the checklist. Also, we should think about group roles while we're there. Like, who will be our point of contact in case of emergency? I'm happy to be that person, since I'm good with logistics. I can keep track of local emergency numbers in our embassy contact information. Just don't expect me to be the group photographer as well.
I'll take that on. I can draft a quick summary after each major activity, maybe even keep a travel blog. I've done something similar before, and it's a great way to remember all the details.
That's brilliant. We could all contribute to it, and it might help future groups. Shall we rotate blogging duties? That way, it's not all on you, James.
Yes, let's do that. Okay, final point reflections. We need to prepare a short presentation when we return. Should we start collecting photos and notes during the trip? Definitely. Maybe we designate one person each day to be the photo lead. That way, we don't all take the same shots. And we need some candid moments. not just the typical tourist photos.
And we should jot down any personal insights, even things that didn't go well. That kind of reflection adds depth to the report. The university wants authentic experiences, not just a highlight reel.
Good thinking. I'll create a Google Doc for everyone to drop their reflections into. Wait, do we know if we'll have reliable internet access everywhere we're going?
That's actually a good point. We might want to have a backup plan, like notes in a physical journal that we can digitize later. Brilliant teamwork, everyone. I feel so much better now that we've mapped everything out. It was starting to feel overwhelming.
Same here. If anything comes up before the trip, let's just message in the group chat. I check it several times a day anyway.
Agreed. And let's try to meet once more the week before departure just to go over final checks. My flatmate went on a similar trip last year and forgot her power adapter. Those little things can make a big difference.
Deal. Thanks, everyone. This is going to be such a rewarding experience. I can already tell our group has good chemistry.
Absolutely. Can't wait. Should we grab a coffee now to celebrate our productive planning session?
Great idea. There's that new place around the corner I've been wanting to try.
I'm in. First round's on me.
You won't hear me saying no to that offer. Let's go!
You will now get some time to check your answers.
You will now get some time to read the next questions.
Good morning, everyone. Today, we'll be discussing an inspiring topic, Indonesians' achievements in foreign countries. Over the past few decades, Indonesian nationals have made remarkable contributions across various sectors abroad, from education and business to arts and innovation. Let's begin by acknowledging the breadth of this success. According to a 2024 International Mobility Report, over 9 million Indonesians live and work outside their home country. A significant portion of them have not only adapted to new environments but also excelled to become leaders in their respective fields. Now, looking at the bar chart on your screen, it shows the number of Indonesians receiving international awards between 2015 and 2024 across 5 categories: science, arts, business, sports, and technology. Science saw a steady climb, starting with 8 awards in 2015, rising to 29 in 2024. Arts fluctuated slightly but remained strong, ending at 18 awards. Business jumped sharply from 5 in 2015 to 25 in 2024. Sports and technology, too, saw encouraging rises, with technology peaking in 2023. Notable figures include Drive, Aditya Nugroho, who led a groundbreaking research project in Germany, and Sari Ramadhani, a fashion designer whose label now features in London and Milan fashion weeks. Moreover, in terms of academic excellence, Indonesian students studying abroad have won over 200 international scholarships and fellowships since 2020, with a noticeable spike post-pandemic as mobility restrictions
You will now
eased.
get some time to check your answers.
You will now get some time to read the next questions.
Let's now move on to a deeper exploration of the sectors in which Indonesians are making waves. In business, Indonesian entrepreneurs have launched over 400 registered startups in countries like Singapore, Australia, and the US. One standout example is GoGlobalTech, founded in Silicon Valley by Rina Santoso. Her company was valued at over $75 million in 2023 and is actively expanding into Southeast Asia and Europe. Looking at the pie chart data, you'll notice the distribution of sectors where Indonesians are most active abroad. Technology dominates at 35%, followed by education at 25%, business at 20%, creative industries at 15%, and sports making up the remaining 5%. In education, many Indonesian scholars are now professors in prestigious institutions like Oxford, MIT, and Tokyo University. Their research ranges from nanotechnology to climate resilience, and some have published widely cited papers. Interestingly, there's also a growing number of Indonesian cultural ambassadors. These individuals promote traditional arts, from batik to gamelan, in European and American cultural festivals. These soft power contributions enhance Indonesia's global image and foster cross-cultural ties. To summarize, the achievements of Indonesians abroad are multidimensional. They're not just participants in foreign economies and cultures, they're shaping them. Moving forward, programs such as LPDP and Erasmus Plus are expected to boost overseas participation, enabling more talented Indonesians to rise on the world stage. So, whether it's in labs, lecture halls, boardrooms, or sports arenas, Indonesians are indeed making their mark, and this trend shows no sign of slowing.
You will now get some time to check your answers.
That's the end of the video. If you watched the whole thing, either you're really into iOS or you accidentally left your phone playing. Either way, respect. If you liked it, hit that like button like it owes you money. Drop a comment, tell me what you thought, or just say hi. I reply to literally everything. I have 5 subs. I got time. And yo, smash that subscribe button before I start crying into my keyboard. Help a new YouTuber out. Let's grow this thing like it's a Tamagotchi from 2004.